It's ready to go. This one's live.
We're live. We're good to go. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. If anybody comes in, they can come on in. We'll call the meeting to order. It's 5:29, Wednesday, August 12th, Planning and Zoning meeting. Members present, Kathy, Rachel, Andy, and Vic. Carl Wade, our building inspector, is also here. We'll go ahead and start with our minutes. We would need a motion to waive the reading of the June minutes. We did not have a meeting in July due to lack of quorum. Can I get a motion for the waiving of the reading of the minutes, please? Kathy,
Second.
and a second by Vic. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay. Or nothing. Okay, nothing under public participation. We'll go ahead and move along. Steve Campbell's not here, so we'll circle back to him if he wants to. If he shows up, we can circle back to him. We also, Krista went ahead. There was a question from June. If you'll remember, there was a question about payment on permits over in the subdivision, whether or not that was necessary. Krista went ahead and pulled everybody in the subdivision who had gotten a permit, and they have all paid, including the one lady who had a question on it. So just wanted to point that out to everybody. If they're in the subdivision, they do have to pay. Those payments they don't get to waive those payments just because they're in the homeowners association. They still have to pay those permits, and we do have documentation on that. So we do have that all straightened out. Next up, we've got some roof permits. If you'll remember, Krista is allowed to do roof replacement permits on her own unless there's an oddity that she doesn't know. And so I just want to make sure those are always listed so we know what's happening. We don't have to do individual approval for them. So we've got 503 North Maple Street, Andrew White, 207 South Washington, Mark Hyman. We also, I'm sorry,
The 108.
the 108.
The 108 East Marion. Except the one you're on.
No, I was not. I was going to the next one, but yeah, we can do that one. 108 East Marion Street. That's 18. That was Frank Bargerhuff. That was hail damage, and then he just replaced it. We also had some development, the new subdivision, we had some permits in there. This was from June, so we have already approved them. They're just waiting for neighborhood development approval. That's the 28 Grant Court for Christy Horner. That was an in-ground pool. And then a fence for 40 Howard Street, Heather Stevens. I believe she was the one who had asked about paying since they already did HOA dues, and I believe that was what led to that question. So those are done. And then we do have a new construction in the subdivision. It is 502 East Ohio Street. The covenants are set up a little bit weird there. They can actually choose what address they have. So you'll notice most of the new subdivision is just 2 numbers plus the street, Howard Grant, Miami. But they can set it up. And so this one will be a brand new home, 502 East Ohio Street. That's the Ideal Builders. It's all in the packet here. And so you're welcome to look at that.
Got sold already?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Did it sell already, the 502? Or that's just their
They always do go on. We have one that is not sold out there, and then the new one, the other one got sold out of 2.
And I saw it starting to look really good out there.
It
This is kind of along the main street instead of the 3
You can see it
parallel
right from
streets.
18 almost.
Yeah, you
Or
can.
part
It's
of
really
it,
nice.
yes.
So, and then as a reminder, the way they set up the HOA, we don't approve new buildings in there since it's all through the same building. It meets all the codes, and the HOA covenants are more restrictive than our codes. But just so we know what's going on. So that is all under old business. I know that was quick, and Krista apologizes. I told her not to put all of that in the email because that never would have attached. So, any questions on old business before we move along? Okay, moving along. We've got Jordan Benaki. Bannicky, thank you. Want to make sure I was always correct me if I say it wrong. So, would you go ahead and pull them up, please? They're going to be Miami County, and it's going to be 809 North Maple Street.
That is to the new one.
Yeah, it's just different enough.
It's just, all right, it's just different now. Wait, is that right?
Yep. That's it.
Okay,
And then what you can do, you can actually go back to map, and it should have this highlighted.
there we go. Okay,
And then I always zoom out just a little bit so we get a view of where we're at. Okay, so this is 809 North Maple Street. It's a block west of Jefferson Street as you head out of town. We've got their application. So correct me if I'm wrong, you guys are renting to own, looking for a fence permit, and possibly a meter move.
Yeah, if it was needed.
Okay.
Just because it'd be within the fence line that we're
Gotcha.
wanting,
Okay,
but I talked to the guys too that.
Tyler Seats is the guy you talked to, I assume. Okay.
He's out there changing the meter, that it's a big deal.
Okay.
It's in there.
Okay, and that's for a meter move, that's gonna be totally up to him. We have absolutely no control over that whatsoever. Whatever he says goes. We listen to whatever Tyler says. So, and then just be aware, if you didn't move it, any fences or anything that's done to it, if the town does have to replace a meter, they will do what they have to, and they might have to bill you for removing the fence, whatever. I just always want people to be aware of that. I'm not saying it will happen, but we just, if it's in our way, we have to move it to get to it. So. Okay, and you filled out your permit. Krista got you all of the rules about what can and can't be used. You're good with all of that, right? Okay, and then we've got a survey for it. And then the interesting one here, just so everybody knows, this is rent to own. So you guys are not the property owners, but you are buying it from him, correct?
Yep.
And I didn't see it earlier, but I know we had talked about it. Did you guys have a letter from him saying that he was okay with it?
With the fence.
Yes.
No, we didn't contact them on that.
Okay. Okay.
Thing is it's just ours, I mean,
Okay.
it's in his name until we pay it off, but.
Okay.
It wouldn't hurt.
Interested in what you guys think. I wouldn't mind having a letter since it's not in their name.
Well, protection for you, in case
yeah.
something happened on the deal and it fell through.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we'll do tonight, we'll vote on it contingent on that letter. So once you bring that letter in, we'll give you the permit. The survey's here, so it looks good to me. And I'll pass this around, of course. Yeah, certificate of land surveys. Yeah,
That a vacant lot next to you?
Yeah, on either side, I believe the
Go
adjacent.
ahead and
neighbors
zoom
own
in a
the
bit.
property.
okay. Yeah, okay, so we've got the survey, we've got the permit. What we can do tonight is vote on it contingent on that letter, and you just bring it into town hall, show it to Krista, and she'll hand you the permit at that point. You won't have to wait for another meeting.
Okay.
Questions on that from anybody? Concerns? Carl, do you need to do any inspections on it?
No.
Okay. And you've got the list of, the requirements can't be more than this feet high, this far from the sidewalks and stuff like that.
The 6-foot fence is what we're going for the back. The
Yep.
only thing is, you can see that we kind of have an established driveway
Yes,
overlapping with what's an alley.
yes,
We're hoping to build in that alleyway to allow enough space for a vehicle to drive through between the house and the fence line.
gotcha. Kathy, sorry, I have no idea where that came from. Your renames now, apparently. Kathy, or Carl, what, is that an actual recognized alleyway of the towns? Do we need to be careful of that?
No.
Or is that just an alleyway that's come up over the
Or just
years?
an easement running through there?
Okay,
Did you zoom in, Patty?
It looks like it's open. I don't know if we have used so.
If you look at that house across the street there from, it looks like he's over on his
Yeah,
phone.
they have alleyways back there because they have
Yeah.
garages that are facing it.
Sure.
Nobody on our block has it, nobody uses it. I actually brought pictures showing
Okay.
we kind of have like a little
I
wire
live
fence
down
put
there,
up
there's
right now.
never an alley. Yeah,
Okay.
they made the lots for the buildings, but
Okay.
there's never an alley.
Okay.
Now,
So,
I lived right across the street at 808 Maple Street for 20 years. So
okay. So not a recognized alleyway that we're screwing something up there,
Not that I'm aware of,
Okay.
but.
which is fine. I just don't want to make sure we don't.
yeah.
As far as I'm aware,
Okay.
the only utilities that are through there, like I said, the
Yeah,
water meter
which-
and.
And again,
Gated access.
yep. And again, if they would have to move anything, that's at your expense. And sorry about that. That's just the town has to get to what it has to get to.
Like,
And could happen tomorrow, could happen never, that's just luck of the draw as it happens. So. Okay. Other,
Question about when they notify the current owner of the fence, notify them also of the meter being moved?
he didn't think that they'd have to move the meter.
Oh,
So
okay.
it would be,
Gotcha.
we would be
Yeah, I
okay
was
then.
only worried about it if they needed
Gotcha.
access to it.
Okay.
They just wanna have to get inside the fence.
Sure.
We read, we're drive-by readers.
Yeah, that's what he said. He's like,
Actually, we just put an antenna on our tower that's reading them for us.
Which is nice.
So unless the meter goes bad,
right.
we won't even need in it. That would be the only time. So,
Okay.
and at that point, even if you got a fence, as long as you let us in to do it, it's not an issue.
Yeah.
To move the meter, change it out.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Other questions from the group? Any questions from you guys?
Nope.
Okay, then I will look for a motion to approve the permit contingent on getting the letter of approval or at least awareness from the property owner of record. Rachel. All right, any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All right. So what we'll do, we'll keep the permit. We've got, it'll be this pink piece of, I'm just gonna not talk today. Pink piece of paper. Krista will have it in the front office. Just bring her that letter so we can keep it on file. And then you can pick that up and you're good to go. And if you need any of those regulations again, she'll be more than happy to print them up for you.
Okay.
So you guys are all set. So
Thanks.
welcome to Converse.
Thank you.
If you're working, we have the drop box out there. Feel free to drop the letter in that and we'll get it right the next morning if that works out for you guys too.
I usually come home for lunch anyway, so.
Okay.
I've been
Perfect.
swimming
Okay.
and take care of that stuff at that time.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right, you guys are good to go.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Okay. You are more than welcome to stay. I understand if you want to go. It is not exactly thrill a minute, so.
No.
Thanks, guys. Okay, just some miscellaneous permits. We've got Scott and Stephanie Dubois. Theirs is a roof permit. So that one Krista handled. Sure why these got filed differently. I didn't catch that.
Is that one in our city limits?
Would you switch over to Grant County and then it's going to be this address. The X there, yeah, sorry. I had all that ready.
If that's not, we'll be in trouble. Grant County don't
West
like
Mesa.
when you step out of
Yeah.
that belongs to them.
Okay, go ahead and hit the down arrow there and then let's
That
switch
one?
over, yeah, and then
Yeah.
zoom back out. There's no way. That's
That's
over,
what I
that's,
thought. I
yeah,
didn't-
that's what I thought.
Yeah, I didn't
Okay.
think that was in our territory.
Okay, well, then
Then when
we
you
need,
said Scott, then it's like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, no.
we need to issue them a refund because they paid. And then we need to contact them and refer them to the Grant County Planning and Zoning. Because you are right, they will get snippy with us. Yeah, Grant County does not like it when you step over on their authority, so. Just please apologize, so sorry, this somehow got in. Here's your, yeah.
Even if we had the 2 mile district, it still wouldn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
So it's because it's out of the time.
yeah, that's actually in Mir. So,
Okay.
and if Scott's mad, just give him my note. We're on the school board together, so I can apologize as well. So, okay, that one is not our business. 508 East Wabash. This is Gary and Ann Phillips. They have paid, and I saw stuff sitting out there the other day. So that is getting taken care of. And then Rich, thank you for being so patient. Sorry, we had you down at the bottom there.
Yeah, I'm just looking for one.
Okay, so we've got Rich and Kay Mobley at 201 East Wabash Street, which is over on the Miami County side. This is the house that Vera Green built after, was it after Marvin had passed, or was it slightly before? Afterwards, okay,
Him and his son designed it. Then he died
that's it.
of cancer,
Yes,
and like 2 years later, she said, I'm gonna build his dream home.
and it's a lovely home. Rich and Kay lived, we have to switch to past tense, at the end of Wabash Street, and they moved over here. And so you can see on the map, it's right by the Methodist Church, the Masonic Lodge, and
Across
then,
the street from
yep, and then Kevin McDowell lives right next door to it. So,
His wife let me know that's her property. not
gotcha.
his.
Gotcha.
They're not married. Significant other.
Gotcha. Partner.
She could let me know. I thought they were married. I had no idea.
Yeah,
I
sure.
just assumed. No, she's a
Um,
nice lady.
Yeah, she is. She works at the schools. She is very nice. So Rich came in, filled out his application. Krista gave him the requirements, 6 feet here, et cetera, all of that. Has a survey done August 6th of 26, and it is attached. And so I think we're good to go because he's got the survey, he's got the permit, he's paid his money. Other questions that we want or concerns that we have?
I can show you a picture of the fence if you would like. It's on my cell phone.
Nope. Well, I think we're good. Just out of curiosity, white vinyl? Okay. Yep.
Dip down.
Oh,
It'll be
lovely.
similar to the one just one block east,
Okay,
except on the right.
lovely.
Ours will be more narrow.
Sure. Lovely.
The thing. If we've done Commerce Hardware. Doing.
Lovely. Cool. And you don't need any permits or inspections, so you can go ahead and sign that. Okay. Vic? Okay, any questions about that? Rich, anything else on your end?
No, I would just say if you're looking for a surveyor, this John Stevens. is a
Yep.
Nice young man in Walker,
And
and he.
which,
I put his name out because I spent 3 days trying to find a surveyor that would call me back. He was the first one for his secretary. Then once he came out, he was all business.
Since John Stevens,
John Stevens is his name.
you have his number there?
Yes,
we do.
360
Okay,
563-8800. Also, the surveyor's office in Peru will give you that name. They got 4 names that they have.
yeah, and we called them and got that as well. We have Grant County and Miami County. So we have that list as well. All right, I will look for a motion to approve Rich and Kay Mobley's fence at 201 East Wabash Street.
Okay.
All right, have a motion from Vic and a second from Kathy for approval. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, Rich, here is your permit and you are good to go.
At
If
least
you
the
can,
material had to come in.
I was gonna say, if you can get it to stop raining long enough to build, more power to you, because,
Nobody drill now.
yeah,
Nobody needs this.
shoot it, this,
This needs to be posted.
just where somebody
my
can,
door.
yep.
I could put it where it's
Yep.
visible.
If somebody would come to us and say, hey, he doesn't have a permit, we'd say, yes, he does, it's fine. So you are all set. You're welcome to stick around or leave, whichever you would prefer.
We take care of the dog.
Sounds good.
That dog, it's an awful expensive.
The things we do for our dogs.
Well, let me tell you. First fence wasn't half of that, chain link.
Yeah.
You put in vinyl, price goes
Just
about
straight
3
through, yeah.
Thank you. guys.
Yep. Thanks, Rich.
Appreciate it.
Okay, we've had a lot of fences here. Anything else? I'm sorry, hold on. Anything else under permits or new business before I move along? Okay, under other business, I wanted to put in here, read paperclip Rich here. We've had a couple here recently. Rich is one, that Steve Campbell that did not come was one. We've had a couple here recently who have been, it's the polite, irritated with our policy. Irritated is the polite word, so we're going to stick with that one.
Pissed off.
Since we're recording, I'll behave myself. So I went ahead and had Krista do some research, wanted to have a quick discussion here with you guys, just so that it is never Andy is doing stuff, Andy is making policy decisions. I never want that to be the case. So the reason we are where we are, and I had Krista go back and look, starting in 2022, we had over by me, we had Christine Tipton and Ashley Reinbarger. They live in adjoining properties. Ashley Reinbarger redid her fence, using existing fence post holes, just straight replacement. Come to find out, when Christine bought that house, she had her land surveyed, and it turns out that Reinbarger's fence was 18 inches on her property. It got very nasty, very quick, almost resulted in civil court. Yeah. Christine at one point wanted to have them put a gate in so that she could use both backyards. Like it got nasty. It got ridiculous. So at the time, Laura Lennon was president. I was on the committee, but not president. Vic, were you on at that point?
I think it come on just before.
Just right there. Rachel was not. Kathy, you were not on. And Carl, you would have been the building inspector still at the time. So you guys will remember it got nasty. And so Laura decided that we were going to do surveys, because that just, in small towns, that didn't happen 50, 75, 100 years ago. So that's where we got to where we are now. We said we're going to require surveys before we issue fence permits. The way, and we are using that, it is in the book, it's page 32, which of course I've got all my papers mixed up now. It says that all fences will be verified, or properties will be verified. Here it is. I know it was. Of course, I'm not going to be able to find it.
Yeah, it's in there.
It's in there. I know, I've read it.
It's in there on warm up.
I noticed. Hold on. Town of Converse Planning Commission shall in all cases have final determination of where a fence shall be placed. Here it is. It's page 62, it's 16, part B. Any other type, color, schemes pertaining to a concrete, masonry, block wall, brick walled fence shall be brought before the Town of Converse Planning Commission for discussion or approval. The next sentence, adjoining property lines and property corners shall be verified prior to installing any fencing, post columns, or fencing. So that's where it was based off of. We, as the Planning Commission, enforce the book. The book clearly says We have to verify. Laura at the time thought that surveys were a good way to verify. I do agree with that, and we kept doing that. You think of Christine Tipton, and Rich's property here is a good example. If you zoom in a little bit on it, you'll notice how tight it is against the McDowell's place, hers, not his, and the Masons. Look how tight those lots are. This is a perfect example. I understand it's extra work, but what if we hadn't have done this? So in this case, Rich came to me and he said, well, Kevin and I have talked. That doesn't hold water. Like, we can't go to a judge and say, oh yeah, the property owners talked. So that's how we got where we're at. We've done it since 22, so we're at 4 years now. So it's kind of become our regular, but I did want to open it up for discussion. Are there other ways? Because surveys are expensive. What's a good survey going to cost you now? $800,000?
And how big the lot and stuff is.
How
And-
much they had to dig
But
for it.
the survey is the only legal document that establishes the property.
Exactly.
And
So-
everybody's protected.
It's also enriched. One of his points of frustration was he couldn't get people to come out and do it. And I feel for him. I do. I feel for everybody. I hate that we have to do it and ask people to incur another cost. That we want to make it as easy as possible for people, but I'm not seeing another way that we can do this. So
Surveyors don't want to get drug into court because if
Uh-huh.
it's a battle between them, they're the ones gonna have to testify.
right. So before we go on to other points that I have questions about, any other ways other than a survey that someone can, am I not seeing something? Speak up and give me something.
No other way.
Okay, so with that being said, what do we want to count as a valid survey? Because I've had people go to the survey office. It's the first thing we always tell them to do: go over to the county, have them pull whatever is on your property parcel. So, what are we going to accept? For instance, the rent to own. His survey was older, I noticed. Are we going to accept an older survey if there's not been any property splits or changes since
I
that?
don't think I can go past 10 years.
Okay. Which may. I'm sorry, Rachel, I'm all over the place. Yeah, so, which is fine, and I don't object to that. His survey was October of 97, but there haven't been any property splits. For now, we'll accept that one because you find whatever.
You know, you can go further if they got the copy of that from the courthouse.
So,
That's official record there, so
sure. So,
I guess we
And-
could go back as far as you want.
and to Carl's point, where do we want to draw our lines? Are we saying if it's recorded with the courthouse, we go back further versus it's just a random survey that they did themselves and never recorded?
I'd kind of look like, well, that what you got right there, that curve in the street up there. If that street's never changed where the town's gone in and widened it or anything, I probably wouldn't even worry about it. You just go what they have on record.
Sure.
But if it's been widened and the county took it or the city took that property, you probably want to have a current one.
Thoughts on what is acceptable from everybody else? Do we want a hard date on it? 25 years? Do we want as determined by the committee on a case by
I was even
case?
thinking, even if they just had one, just
Mhm.
like that one.
Sure, but what,
Yeah, it's outdated, but, like you said,
Yeah.
there hasn't been nothing else gone on there.
and do we do a different date? This one has the seal from the courthouse. It's been recorded versus I just had a survey done and I've held on to it all these years. That's not as official a document. When you record something with the
Right.
courthouse, there's pains and penalties of perjury with that one. So,
Remember that guy that bought that property behind his house? Was the one lady wanted to sell off a few
Yes.
a little bit. I mean, I'd say even something like that where he would need a more recent survey because there has been a change to his property.
Okay.
But even down
As long as
here,
it's recorded, I'd say accepted. If it's just
Okay.
a. Here's
Okay.
here's a survey I did.
So what if we make it our policy, and we can draw all this up in language and, pass it, we won't pass anything tonight. What if we kind of make it our rule of thumb for now and then work on getting it into policy? If it's a survey that's been recorded and nothing has changed since then, no land swaps, no parcel splits, etc., that is acceptable to us for fences, driveways, things that might need it. If it is a situation that is the unusual, because we will come into a situation that we haven't thought of, it will need to come before the committee in full, and we will need a current survey post any land changes. That way, we're not tied to a hard date. Say they had a parcel split 5 years ago. Okay, we need one that's 4 years old or less.
yeah,
That sound like a reasonable accommodation that leaves us broad enough to operate within while still close enough that we can stick to some guidelines.
Today's surveys are a lot more accurate than the old
Sure,
ones.
absolutely. And again, we're gonna run into these odd ones because towns, it was a surveyor with chains and or if they even did surveys. So often what we see is two families that live next to each other. Oh yeah, absolutely. The property line's right here. Just put your fence there. We're good to go. Here we are 75 years later. Those families are gone. And now it's two new people who are like, no, you're 18 inches on my property. I would be upset too. I'm paying tax money on that. I want my 18 inches. I get it. Okay, Kathy, did you get that written down enough where you can write the minutes out like you need to? Okay.
my bad. That's a question.
Yeah.
So I don't remember exactly, but it's one of the properties in the new neighborhood that we wanted to fence up for her dog.
Yes.
Let's say we have a property like that, or even I was just looking at one of the bigger properties that they want to fence up and it's clearly not even close to the boundary lines. Would they still need a survey done if it's clearly not even anywhere close to, they
And-
want a little doggy fence?
Sure.
Something where it's still a fence, still has to have the approval,
Sure.
but it's not anywhere.
I,
close to it.
I tend to lean towards yes, they still
Okay.
need one for the simple reason that we are asking other people to incur this
That's
cost.
what I was thinking.
You got to have some skin
Yep.
in the game too.
Yep.
I hate that, but
Right.
What's the fee on your fences? The
Uh,
permit fee?
Was it 80? Or was
I
it
believe
for-
it's 80.
I think it was 80.
80. So 80 for the fence permit fee. The survey is going to be the big cost.
Yeah.
So, but yes, I would lean towards yes, we still
Okay.
need to
That was my
require it.
guess. I thought yes.
Just so that when, a Rich Mobley comes in and why did I have to pay
Right.
when Andy Horner didn't, that creates that point of friction. At least that's my thoughts
I
on
think
it.
a property line fence is different than what a pet fence would be.
Mm.
Or a kitty fence, or what you want to call
Sure.
them.
Sure.
Cause you'd come off your patio and put a little fence around there just to keep the dog in.
Mm.
Right. Got some toddlers or,
Be
yeah,
awful expensive to pay
Yeah.
$80 for that.
yeah.
But who knows how long you're gonna have it up? too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you call that basically a temporary fence.
Mhm. Which to be fair, it does address temporary fences.
Okay.
It addresses them in the form of snow fences, the orange.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because those are, and we don't have permits for that one.
Okay.
So if they wanted to do that, we could look at a tent
Okay.
fence. That would be a way around that.
I would say even someone who's got young toddlers, just something
Yeah, yeah.
to keep them
Sure.
full play area or.
Sure.
Or write it up in your thing as a property line fences
Mhm.
for
Yeah.
permit
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
keep the little ones.
We could add the phrase property line fence.
Because if you put a big, those fenced in fold up playpen things for kids.
Right. Trying to be accommodating.
Oh, absolutely. So, and then we do pool fences are addressed in pools, so that's taken care of.
Okay.
Is there a
Might
permit
be
for a
helpful.
pool fence? I just part of the pool.
So. I'm sorry, what?
Is that a permit for the pool fence
That
or just part of the
just
requirements?
part of the requirements for the pool because it's a state law.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Okay. That I just, again, in case Steve had come here and if Rich had wanted to stay, now when I get griped at, I can say, hey, this has been before the full committee. This is not Andy making any decisions. This is us making decisions. So. Okay, cool. Other business. I know over by you, there's been some semis parking. Tyler was going to go talk to them again and we were going to get letters started sent out. I was in your office that day. It was Jenkins, not Seeds. He was gonna look at what did he call those letters? We were gonna start looking at some more serious action.
I don't remember.
I know, neither do
remember
I.
him talking about it, because honestly, the officer went down there the other day and he said the semi was not on the road, it was pulled off.
They
Wow.
do have slight, the one has a slight gravel area, but it's usually still on the side of the road.
Well,
I
and the
can't remember the
problem
other one.
is even with parking in a gravel area, he's still damaging the road to get to the gravel area. Those side roads are not
Right.
rated for semis and you can't see around them. We're asking for trouble at some point.
I don't think we have any signs up that says no semi.
Well, that's gonna be a problem then.
Yeah,
We need to get some signs
it's
up.
like 18, we have
Yeah.
a problem. We can't, everybody's complaining about the Jake break-in.
Yeah,
And I don't allow us to put up signs.
yeah,
See, on the streets and stuff, you'd have to have a load limit sign that
Right.
they're gonna park on there, what they're allowed, because you don't know if that's somebody
Right.
loaded or unloaded when he's
Yeah.
parked.
Exactly.
Hmm.
you might
And then-
reach out to Jenkins. Hey, did this ever happen? And just see what he says. I know Tori had mentioned it. I know it's down by your neighborhood as well. So,
No, it was brought up at the council
Okay.
meeting also, and
okay,
Tyler said at the point, we've been down there is no semi park there
Okay.
when the officer is there. No one calls when the semi is there. So we don't know it's there. When it was on
Yeah.
the road, we have people here complaining at point, it was
I
on
can
the
even
road.
see when
They
it,
don't-
usually when it comes home, when whoever it is comes home, they usually come home from at least the one on that White House. They come home from Madison, turning on to Sycamore, so I can usually see them out my kitchen window.
other business. Then I will entertain a
Wait a
motion.
minute, wait a
Oh,
minute.
yes, what?
Meeting, Next meeting.
Oh,
is
yes, good call.
September 9th, we can't meet.
Okay, so the next meeting we have scheduled is September 9th, which is also the town council meeting. Theirs is the budget meeting, and so theirs takes
Mhm.
precedence. So we need to move ours. We can do, if we want to stick with the Wednesday, we could do the 2nd or the 16th. Does anyone have a preference? It would just be a one-time thing.
My sister's in town on the
Sure,
second.
sure, absolutely.
I only see her twice a year.
Right?
At this point.
I think I
Okay.
mean, others have, yeah, I could do the 16th, but.
Yep, let's just do the 16th.
So at 5:30?
It's still at 5:30 and that just is a one-time thing. Kathy has to have quorum and has to have the council meeting when it's advertised. That is non-negotiable. The state gets real persnickety real quick if you don't stick exactly to that. We're gonna have to move ours for the library. I couldn't get in with Judy, so we're gonna have to move ours. This has thrown everything
Oh,
off.
boy.
I'm
Okay.
advertising mine.
Yeah, okay. So I don't believe we need a motion for that. Kathy will handle all of the advertising for it. The next meeting will be September 16th at 5:30. And then can I have a motion to adjourn, please? Rachel, and a second? Vic? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Meeting ended at 6:08. Thank you, guys.